All right, everyone, let's slow this down and really walk through what is happening because what's about to land in your mailbox starting December 26th is not just another random government letter you can ignore. This is something that directly affects your money, your benefits, and potentially even future payments you could receive. We're talking about roughly 75 million Americans who receive some form of Social Security, and every single one of them is being sent an important document. If you receive Social Security retirement, SSDI, SSI, survivor benefits, or even if you only received a small payment at some point during the year, this applies to you. And the reason this matters so much is because this one piece of paper can quietly impact your taxes, your eligibility for assistance programs, and even your ability to receive fast payments if new stimulus money is approved. I want to take some time with this because far too many people see government mail, glance at it, and toss it aside without realizing the consequences. I've seen it happen over and over again. People miss deadlines, lose benefits, or delay payments simply because they didn't understand what a document was or why it mattered. And this one, in particular, is something you absolutely cannot afford to ignore. Especially right now, with so much talk about new payments, stimulus checks, rebates, and financial relief tied directly to income levels. What's happening is this. Starting December 26th, the Social Security Administration begins mailing out official tax documents to every beneficiary. If you live in the United States, you will receive an SSA-1099 form. If you live outside the country, you'll receive a slightly different version called an SSA-1042S. These forms show exactly how much money Social Security paid you during the year. That might sound boring or irrelevant at first, especially if you don't normally file taxes, but this document is far more important than most people realize. One of the biggest mistakes people make is assuming that because they don't owe taxes, they don't need tax paperwork. That assumption alone causes countless problems every single year. Even if you have never filed a tax return in your life and never expect to, this document still serves as your official proof of income. It is legal documentation of what you received from Social Security, and it is used by more agencies than you might think. Let's be very clear about who this applies to because there's a lot of confusion out there. If you are receiving Social Security retirement benefits, you are getting this form. That's more than 50 million people right there. If you are on Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, you are getting this form. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, you are still getting this form, even though SSI itself is not taxable. If you are receiving survivor benefits as a widow, widower, or child of a deceased worker, you are getting this form. If you are a veteran who receives Social Security in addition to VA benefits, you are getting this form for the Social Security portion. And if you received any kind of back pay or lump sum payment during the year, especially related to recent legislative changes, this form becomes even more important. The bottom line is simple. If Social Security paid you even $1 during the year, this document is being generated in your name and mailed to you, and the information on it is not just for you. The exact same data is also being sent to the Internal Revenue Service. That's where the seriousness of this really comes into focus. When Social Security issues this form, it becomes the official record of your benefit income. The IRS uses it to match information. If the numbers on your form don't match what ends up on a tax return, or if there's a discrepancy between what Social Security reports and what you report, that can trigger letters, delays, or even audits. Now, mistakes are rare, but they do happen. And the only way to catch a mistake is by actually opening the document and checking it. You don't need to be a tax expert to review it. All you need to do is look at the total amount listed and ask yourself whether it makes sense. If you were receiving around $2,500 a month for the entire year, the total should be somewhere near $18,000. If you were receiving SSI at around $943 a month, the annual number should reflect that. If you received a large lump sum payment, that number will be higher, and that's where special attention is required. This form is also critical because it serves as proof of income for countless programs beyond taxes: housing assistance programs, energy assistance, food assistance, Medicare savings programs, prescription drug assistance, and state-level benefits all rely on income verification. When you apply for these programs, one of the first things they ask for is proof of income. This document provides that proof in a clean, official, government-issued format. For people living on fixed incomes, especially retirees, disabled individuals, and survivors, having clear documentation of income is essential. It can be the difference between qualifying for help and being denied. It can speed up applications, it can prevent delays, and it can protect you if questions ever arise about what you receive. Now let's talk about a group of people who really need to pay attention to this. Anyone who received a lump sum payment during the year, especially related to recent changes in Social Security law, needs to understand that lump sums can create tax situations you weren't expecting. Even if your regular monthly benefit is not taxable, a large one-time payment can push part of your income into a taxable range. This does not mean you will automatically owe taxes, and it does not mean you should panic. What it does mean is that you need accurate information. The SSA-1099 shows exactly how much was paid and when. That information is essential if you need to determine whether any portion of your benefits is taxable and whether you need professional advice. Now let's address the topic that has everyone talking, the potential $2,000 stimulus payment that keeps being mentioned. There is a lot of excitement, a lot of hope, and also a lot of uncertainty surrounding this. The reality is that no final legislation has been passed yet. There are statements, discussions, and repeated mentions, but until something is officially signed into law, nothing is guaranteed. That said, there is one thing history has taught us very clearly. When stimulus payments or relief payments are issued, income matters. Eligibility is almost always tied to income thresholds, and in some cases, documentation is required to verify that income. For people living on Social Security, this is actually good news. Most Social Security beneficiaries have incomes that fall well below typical cutoff levels. If you are living on $18,000 a year, $15,000 a year, or even less, you are almost certainly within any reasonable income limit that would be set. But eligibility isn't just about being under a number. It's about being able to prove it. That's where this document comes in. The SSA-1099 shows your income clearly and officially. If rules require income verification, this form provides it. If filing a simple tax return becomes necessary, this form provides the numbers. If agencies need confirmation, this form provides the proof. Even in situations where filing is not required, having documentation puts you in a position of strength. It means you're prepared. It means you're not scrambling at the last minute. It means you're not delayed while others receive payments faster simply because they had paperwork ready. Now let's talk about how you will receive this document. Many people don't realize they have two options. If you have a My Social Security account set up online, you can access your SSA-1099 electronically, often before the paper version arrives. This is the fastest way to get it, and it can be especially helpful if you need the information quickly. If you don't use online services, that's perfectly fine. A paper copy will be mailed to you starting after December 26th. For most people, it will arrive sometime in January. When it arrives, the most important thing you can do is open it immediately. Do not let it sit in a pile of mail. Do not assume you'll look at it later. Open it, glance at the total, and confirm that it looks reasonable. If something seems off, contact Social Security as soon as possible. Corrections are much easier when they are addressed early. Once you've checked it, store it somewhere safe. And safe doesn't mean, I'll remember where I put it. It means the same place you keep your most important documents. Birth certificates, insurance policies, property records, and legal papers all belong together. This document belongs there too. Keep it for the entire year. Do not throw it away after tax season. Do not assume you won't need it again. Situations change, programs change, rules change. Having this document available can save you time, stress, and frustration later. Now let's be honest about the uncertainty surrounding future payments. There are no guarantees. There are no confirmed timelines. There are no finalized rules yet. Anyone who tells you otherwise is guessing. But being prepared does not mean assuming something will happen. It means being ready if it does. Preparation is not panic. Preparation is common sense. It's keeping important documents. It's understanding what you receive. It's knowing where your proof of income is. It's positioning yourself to respond quickly if opportunity arises. There is also some genuinely positive news for Social Security beneficiaries going into the new year. Benefits increased due to a cost of living adjustment. Medicare prescription costs have been capped at a much lower level, providing real relief for people on expensive medications. Earnings limits for those who work while collecting benefits have increased, allowing more flexibility. And for those affected by fairness reforms, monthly payments have improved. All of this points to one thing: staying informed matters. Understanding your benefits matters. Paying attention to official mail matters. This document may look boring, but it carries weight. It represents your income. It represents your eligibility. It represents your preparedness. If you take nothing else away from this, remember this. Do not throw this document away. Open it. Check it. Store it safely. Keep it accessible. Whether it's for taxes, assistance programs, or potential future payments, it is one of the most important pieces of paper you will receive this year. Being informed puts you ahead. Being prepared protects you. And taking a few minutes to handle this properly can save you months of frustration later. Stay alert, stay organized, and make sure you're always ready when financial opportunities come your way.